So this is Bunker Apocalypse Game 2 gameplay introduction video to explain rule sets. First that comes out is your location cards. Everybody will start off with 10 chips, survival or supply tokens. And just for example here, I'm just going to do one character or one bunker. Everybody starts with 2 random minor cards. So I'm just going to start with using black as the example. At this point, you can actually lay out your the location cards based off of your illustration. Making sure that you have 6 different spots. So you have 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The location cards get put away after that. They aren't used for the rest of the game. Next part is, now we're going to put it in black, and if you go based off of the gameplay here, that is considered number 2. He will grab what he wants for his character's careers. So as an example, he wants, let's say, 1 diplomat, 2 security guards, and all these cards would be flipped over the other way during actual gameplay, so you wouldn't be able to see what what their actual skill sets are. Let's say 1 scout, 2 medics, so he already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 1 producer, so he has the extra points for the end game. He wants 2 tradesmen. And let's say he wants 2 people who he doesn't know what they could be. And everybody else would do the exact same thing. At this point, he can lay out his he only takes 1 unknown. I miscounted. So, in a gameplay, you can actually set up your cards wherever way you want, as long as they're face up, because at this point it does not matter if the other players know what your characters are, since it is a randomization for killing off any characters. At this point, once everybody has grabbed all their careers, they can be taken out of the game for the time being. Now at this point, you'd already have your females and males characters shuffled based off of their sex. And then the person will decide if he wants how many females and males does he want in his bunker. So let's say he wants 6 females and 4 males in his bunker, because the most he can have in his bunker is 10 people. So you only can get 10 cards of each. At this point, he can decide on where he wants his characters with which career. At this point, I'm just going to do it random. So once that is done, those will be taken out for the time being. Then, all other players would turn their heads around while black decides on where he wants to put his his location, and then grabbing the top card of the small location cards without looking at it, dropping it down. So he put his bunker here, he dropped the card here. So let's say green put his bunker here and then put his card here. When he's exploring, he would explore this one here, thinking that the bunker's there. However, the bunker's here, so he wouldn't be able to see this bunker at this time. However, the next turn he would know it's there. Once that's done and everybody has placed their bunkers in their locations, and I'll just leave them flipped up for this demonstration. Now at this point, since that's all done, you would grab your character cards. You could have did this earlier, however, we haven't went through everybody grabbing them. You would grab at least two cards, I would say two, from each deck, from each pile, for the careers and characters. You grab at least two careers for each deck, and then shuffle them. So you would randomly don't know what is your career for during the gameplay. So all this would be shuffled, so when you do find a survivor, or if you find a lost stranger or somebody like that, you won't know what their career could be. So you put that with your career pile. For your characters, since you still have female to male ratio, you grab at least half the pack of each one, and shuffle them together, and that would be put with into your gameplay for in case that you do find a survivor in your game. Now you can see that you have your supply tokens. You have your major events, your minor events, your attribute cards. Attribute cards for this gameplay is optional. It's for experience or advanced play mode only. It's to add more complexity to the game. Now, at this point, he would grab his two event cards that he got at the start of the game. He would look at both of them, and one says one of his female members is pregnant and cannot use her to leave the bunker for the period of the game. So he picks one of his female characters and puts that underneath her. However, the other one says it's poisonous snakes. Poisonous snakes inside the bunker. In the bunker, find and kill it. Lose a character if you don't kill it in the next 3 turns. Roll a 2 or a 5 to kill it. If not, the medical research is required to make an antidote in 1 turn. Roll a 1 of 4 to create an antidote, otherwise this character dies. So he rolls a 3. Did not do anything. At this point, this stays inside Black's hand. He still does not know who gets killed yet. That will happen when the 3 turns are up. So at this point, you grab 3 of these herd tokens, which are also turn tokens too, and puts them on top of that card. At this point, everybody else would do the exact same thing. Then the major event card comes up. This one here, it says severe lightning storm. Might get hit if you are out. Roll die to find out. Roll a 1 or a 6. Your character gets killed by lightning. So at this point, if somebody wants to travel, they have to roll die to figure out if they're going to get killed. So at this point, he can decide on what he wants to do. At this point, he would want to do a medical because he wants to get rid of this research, and maybe explore since he does want to see where the other bunkers are. In this mode, we already know where all the bunkers are. This is very similar to the style of gameplay for Race for the Galaxy, where you have to use action cards to decide your turn. However, you do what your actions are, you do not do anybody else's. So if somebody else says that they're going to explore, you cannot explore. At this point, everybody would do the exact same thing. So one guy would say security. Let's say instead of that, he says, I want to call it repair in my bunker because he had damage, and he has medical since he had some people hurt. Some other people will say, I want to explore and repair. So it all depends on what's going on. So this guy, called Black, will decide, I want to use this guy here, which is Glenn, he's a producer, and make him travel to that location. He wants to see what's there. He doesn't have to go to wherever point. However, on his card, he has to make sure that the guy actually has 5 ES, which is your Explorer Scout skill. And if you see on the cards, his ES 3. On this one, it says ES 2. So he has to put his token on top of that guy, so everybody knows who will get killed. Since he left his bunker, he has to play the major event card. So if he rolls a 1 or a 6, he gets killed. He rolls a 2, so he is alive. Now it would go to the next player. He would do his medical issue, which is trying to prevent this poisonous snakes from going out. So if he rolls a 1 or a 4 at this time, he rolled a 3. So he does not get creates an antidote. So we'll have to see what happens the next turn. He has finished his action cards and he waits for everybody else to complete theirs. Once everybody has completed their action cards, everybody gets 2 more event cards. Oh, I did forget one step. When you do leave your bunker, you actually do have to pick up a radiation card at all times. This one here, he says he has mutant dog pack. Member, mutated dogs pack kills your member on the way back from your adventures out. It is unknown if the mission was completed. So, Glenn dies at this point without even playing more than 1 turn. So at that point, you lost already 1 member without even being able to see the location. Whereas this point, if he was able to see this location, he would look at the location in his hand and it says draw 1 new major event card. Then he would have to put it back down. At that point, he would have to take this new event card and put it down. However, he did not be able to do that. Let's say Green wanted to travel and he travels to this location here. He actually succeeds and he does not get anything that's bad. We'll just say it an example. He gets to look at this one here and it says it's a junkyard. Found tools. Pick up 1 tool card with 3 uses of this card. Also pick up a radiation card when picking up a tool card. So at this point he has to pick up another radiation card and he gets a tool card. So he gets to put that in his hand. He does not need to show anybody his tools. So at this point, this gets back put down, and you take one of the hurt tokens, and you put it on top, saying that there has been 1 use to that card. This guy has broke his leg. He can't travel anymore. So whoever he was, then he would have to put at least 1 hurt token on top of it. 1 hurt token means he will not die in the game. However, if you put 3 hurt tokens on somebody, it means they have 3 turns to get healed. If they do not get healed in that 3 turns, they will die. To continue on, if there is some things I still haven't fixed yet, which is the attack feature of attacking another bunker. Still in progress, and I have a feeling that it will be a dice attack. Now, to get to the point where somebody gets actually hurt from a minor event, and I will search for 1. Okay, this one right here. It says broken arm. 1 member broke their arm, takes 2 turns to treat, cannot use this member for any actions until healed. So in this case, you get 2 tokens, because they're going to take 2 2 healing abilities to fix him. At this point, the person on his left would decide what number he wants this guy to be. Let's say he says number 4. So you're going to take your number tokens, make sure they're nice and shuffled because you don't want to make sure you don't know. The guy on the right, if people say, has the choice to tell the person they want to go from left to right, or right to left. So let's say this person says he wants to go from right to left. So you go right to left on top of the cards until you get that number 4. I did forget to tell you that you have to take the whatever amount of characters that you have and take the number, that last number out. So if it says 10, you're not going to use that token. So at this point, you'll put that underneath that character, take all these numbers back off of the and then put your 2 hurt tokens on top. This one here means that if they have not been healed within, it doesn't mean any problems other than they won't be able to do any kind of actions at this point. So when they're healing people, you must need to have at least one person with at least an 8 as a medic. So they would have to look at all their strengths on top of people. So this person right here, this person that's pregnant right now, is a medic that can actually heal somebody. They have 9 skill points based off of their actual character and medic skills added together. Which just in here says med 4 and then med 5, which is 9. And all of them will have some kind of type thing on the cards itself. RE means electrical repair, RM means mechanical repair, TT means trade and treaty, ES means exploration, scout, MED, MED means medic, DEM means demolition, and SEC means security. And then you have value at the bottom of the cards. That is how to count your points at the end of the game. Now, one point of the game is for your treaty. If you actually want to do a treaty with somebody, you would actually have to have one person, one of your guys, go to that other bunker, and when you're crossing over a path of one of the other location cards, you do not need to do that event. However, if you've already been to that, you do not need to do the event again if you do stop on that location. You are not required to do it. However, if you're on a location where it does say a tool, to pick up a tool, and you have to pick up a radiation card, you must do as told on the card. If the person is trying to get away from doing that, the person who cannot attack that person, so let's say black is playing over here, yellow over here, cannot attack black at any point of the game, can verify that card is being done properly. So when green did this, the only person that would be able to double check that card would be purple. So based off the rules, and you'll be able to see on the last page for attacking with a vehicle, and that's how you base it off of. So green cannot attack purple, purple cannot attack green. Blue cannot attack red, red cannot attack blue. Yellow cannot attack black, black cannot attack yellow at any point of this game. Whereas black can attack red and green at this point, but if he gets a vehicle, he can attack blue and purple. So at that point, that's where you have a vehicle. It's the only time you can actually attack that way, is attacking blue or purple, is if you have a vehicle. Now this person who's pregnant cannot leave the bunker at any moment. They could still do repairs and they could still be a medic. You would prefer not to use them as security since they are pregnant. Now at this point, since they have one extra supply token because they had one person pass away, they can actually add one person to the bunker. However, if they lost 2 of their tokens and they only had 8, the next turn that they come up, at the end of that turn, they would have to lose one person. One person would have to die. Okay, now back to trade and treaty. For the trade and treaty, when the person goes over top and lands onto the other bunker, they'll talk to that person. In secret if they want to, or out loud, it doesn't matter. At this point, they can say, I want to trade one of your characters, and we'll just randomly take a couple of these cards just to say something. So we have William, a tradesman. He is really good at, let's say, he's really good at mechanical repair, and this group here didn't have someone who was really good at that, but they had a medic who was really good, and they didn't have him. Their medic wasn't that good. So they traded off the tradesman and the medic the next turn over. So when this guy comes back, after getting his radiation card and making sure that that's done, I think the radiation cards will be changed a little bit, because they are a little bit on the killing side, a little bit too much. And if you need any documentation on the cards, I can send you the Excel file of that card, of all the cards. At this point, the next turn, they would just swap their characters without worrying about any radiation cards being pulled or any worries of being attacked for those characters. Those characters are pretty much in travel, and that's it. Even if there's a major event card that's out that says that they have to roll dice to say something, they do not need to. At that point, that trade is accepted. Now, if they wanted to trade a tool, the member who's over here would already have the tool on them while they're walking over to the other bunker, if they've already talked beforehand from the last time they visit. If they haven't, then that one person has to travel over, and then one of the other characters has to travel over to get their tool, to be able to explain what tool they want. Now, to go to security and demolition cards are a little bit more tough to explain, since I do not know the full expectations of these cards, since I have not test played them enough to be able to figure out what I want to do with them. I have a feeling that it'll be based off of their skill level and the roll of one die for each person. So let's say green is getting attacked by black, because black brought one of their guys over for demolition. Demolition on this guy on his guy over here was, let's say it was an 8, whereas this guy, his security was a 7. Okay, so just as a demonstration, let's say he gets a 4 and this guy gets a 4. At that point, because the demolition is higher, he would win that tie. Whereas if they both rolled, one rolled a 4, one rolled a 5, the demolition would actually succeed and they'd be able to do their attack on the bunker. However, if this guy got, let's say, a 6 over a 4, so he wins, they have a choice to roll over the guy dying or being captured. I still haven't figured out if there's a capture point in the bunker, or if that guy's character would be taken over and then they get one supply for that character. Once one location card has been looked at by every character that can actually look at that card, it can be flipped over. However, there is no way to officially know who has been at that site. So during the gameplay, you'd be just better off to leave it flipped face down at all times. And at this point, that is pretty much most of the cards. However, let's go find a survivor card. Now let's say blue, since he can actually get there, goes onto this card, he flips it over and it says, found one survivor, one use. So at this point, he would put his one token on top of it saying he's used it. At that point, he would grab one character card and one career card, and at that point, he would also grab one called one supply token. At all times when you pick up a survivor, you will get one supply token. He cannot be killed when he first goes into the bunker. However, if you still do not have enough tokens in your bunker, he still can be killed off at that point. So if a person has, let's say, 7 tokens in his bunker, he has 8 people, and you find a survivor, that survivor gets into the bunker, his supplies go into the supplies of the whole bunker. At that point, at the end of that turn, that player will still have to roll, or still have to use the number tokens, and the person on their left would still have to pick the number for his character, whoever character will pass away. Now for healing, you can actually use 2 characters to heal one person on a turn. You can have 4 people healing 2 people during a turn. The only thing is you have to make sure, if you're using medic and repair at the same time, that your repair person, if you have 1 person repairing and you have 5 people doing medic work, that you still have enough people on your place that can actually do that job. So let's say he only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Okay, he only has 8 people in his bunker, and this guy wanted to do a medical treatment on this person and also try to fix this. So that'd be 5 people for that. But he also has repairs, and he did a repair, and he has 2 repairs that he has to do his bunker. Whenever you have repairs to do to your bunker, you must grab one of these tokens too. This is repairs to your bunker. So in this case, you would just put it on the side on none of your cards, just to say that your bunker is damaged. And you must repair your bunker depending on that, whatever card it is. So if you had a card that said broken pipes, sure, you're lucky of me to get that card. And it says repairs are needed or flooding will break and what was it? Flooding of your bunker will drown 1 person in 2 turns. So you must put 2 tokens on that one. And if you do not repair that in 2 turns, you know, based off of what the tokens are, and everybody can see that if in 2 turns that 2 people will die in that bunker. So you'd have to have 2 people to repair that broken pipes, and the guy only has 8 people. He has 5 people working on trying to do healing, and 2 people trying to do the repairs. He still has 1 extra person, so he can actually take that 1 extra person and put him on repairs. However, if he only had, let's say, 6 people in his bunker, and he wanted 5 people to do healing, he only have 1 person to be able to do the repairs. All depending on if that person isn't injured. If the person is injured and you're trying to heal him, he can't heal himself. And he cannot do any repairs. So if he is getting healed up, he can't do the repairs. So at that point, the repairs wouldn't be able to be done till this person is healed. Now for counting points at the end of the game, it will all depend on what tool cards they have. So if a tool card says a value of 2 points, that tool card is a value of 2 points. This one here also has a bonus of 2 points if they have the other parts to the card. So if they had lumber and nails, and also saw and I can't remember what the other one was at this moment, but if they had both those cards in hand, they would get a value of 4 points for each card. Whereas in this point, he only has 1 of those cards, he only gets 2 points. And then you would calculate based off of the value of both cards, their career and character cards. So this one here, which is a female, she has a value of 5 points and also a value of 3 points based off of her character card, her skills based off of character points, and her skills based off of her career points. So she is worth 8 points. Added with this tool card is 10 points. Then you go to the next person. This one has a value of 1 and a value of 5. So at that point you continue calculating all your points. Whereas when you have this person who's pregnant, that is an extra 2 points added to that person's value. because anytime you have an extra person with a pregnancy, that pregnancy is considered an extra person at the end of the game, but it's a child, so it's only adds 2 points to the game. I think at this point, that's about it that I can explain on this video. If you have any questions, please just email me and I'll try to explain it on another video.